Hello guys, welcome to another episode. I believe this is 78 video, so I am definitely enjoying making these videos and learning and sharing along the way. All right, without further ado, let's introduce today's topic. Today's topic is how portfolio grows. How do you invest? Where do you go to invest? How do you what kind of stocks to buy, investment, and all that terminology, but mainly how does portfolio grows. Okay, so here I have an example for you. This is my personal portfolio. Those of you, if you've been following me, I've grown this quite a bit in the last 1 year or so. I started with $100 in 2019, so about 2 years ago. Excuse me. Since then, I have grown to about $97,000. Excuse me, $9,715. I am very proud of this portfolio. Out of those, I have about $1,800 my gain, and about $240 is a dividend. What gain means is that the appreciation, or the like how much in a stock value has gone up. And what dividend means, some companies pay for holding on to their stock. They pay me money, some quarterly, some monthly. Many of my companies are quarterly. So this is kind of two main ways how a portfolio grows. Okay, one is that the gain or the appreciation, meaning a lot more people actually buying and selling. So since I just been holding on to my portfolio and my stocks, and over time it has grown, and then they also pay some dividend. Another thing that you can possibly do, I think, to grow your portfolio is obviously the most basic one is actually put more money in, right? The third thing is, I would say, is a dollar cost average. That's because market is sometimes up, sometimes is down, so you want to definitely do that to kind of be on the same, so you don't buy too high, you don't buy too low, because there's no way to market that timing. If you guys are invested in, there's an entire in finance in my MBA investment class, one of the class that we learned about is called behavior finance. If you guys take that, they'll show you basically how our human psychology plays big role when it comes to investing. Believe it or not, most of these things, especially when we deal with finance, biases or overconfidence tend to create a lot more problem. So it's better to come up with decent portfolio and just hold on to it as much as possible. Okay, so let's get in. How did I grow my portfolio? I'm gonna basically do a little bit more deep dive in, so you guys can get some idea of your own. Perhaps maybe you want to invest in exactly like me, or maybe get an idea and invest on your own. So I'm calling it passive income. And then this was dividend plus growth, right? Because there were some companies that pays dividend, and there's some that are purely growth companies. So lithium battery. So one thing that you guys gonna notice is that all of these companies or the sectors that I have, I believe in is basically next 5 to 10 years is the future. Because so there's about two sectors that really associated with electric vehicle sector. One is battery, other one is the autonomous electric vehicle itself. I personally do not know what are the companies involved. Therefore, I have decided to invest in what's called ETF, and one particular stock like Tesla, for example, everybody has heard. So I put in my 50% of my money in Tesla and 50% in this ETF called LIT, L-I-T. What does LIT is basically is an ETF that holds a broad bunch of companies in there. So this way, if one company goes out of the business, you still have more companies to cover. So this is my way of hedging risk, meaning I don't know which company is going to go down, and I don't want to put all my money in, in one company and go down. So I just added Bitcoin. There's a company called ProShare. They have their ETF called Bito. They're basically buying future contracts and not directly the actual Bitcoin itself, but even that is enough actually. For me, cryptocurrency, this is more than enough. It's about 10% of my portfolio at this point. Perfectly, I'm fine with it. And then I have technology, big five. I did not put any particular ETF because I do not think I need it. Microsoft, you can keep on. If one wants, you can literally just buy these four companies, I would say, and you would be millionaire technically if you keep on investing. This is any advice you see, anything you see, right? I'm not a certified guy, so please do not sue me. Seek your own counsel from professionals who are certified, and I am just sharing somebody on internet sharing my experience and my thoughts and what I'm doing for education purpose only. So that's out of the way. Microsoft, Google, like Facebook, Apple, Amazon, I think will own the majority of the future, so you can never go wrong. That's my tech. Autonomous vehicle, I have Uber. Yes, I do know that I'm losing money at this point, but I do think they have a bright future because they have Uber Eats. As more and more people will use online ordering platform. They have basically two businesses in one, Uber and Uber Eats. That's why I'm holding it, and hopefully in the future they'll turn around. So, and also had an ETF in there. If you guys notice that Drive, they own a bunch of other companies that deals with in this particular realm of electric vehicle. I have semiconductor, Intel. Some of you guys might be following. Do not think that Intel will. First of all, I do. Contrary to popular belief, I think Intel will stay, and they will stay for a long period of time. I think that we should. This is a great time, especially now, to buy them because they're fairly cheap. But they do have risk. Remember, anything that is cheap out there has its own risk and reward. I have ETF, SOX, SOXX, artificial intelligence, NVIDIA is really good, and there's a BOTZ parts, really good ETF out there. Food delivery is where I'm a bit concerned how especially Grubhub is doing. Grubhub used to be a really good company, but ever since they were bought away by Takeaway, this European company, their stock hasn't been really going well. So not sure what's going on, but if you compare to, let's say, DoorDash always, it's a brand new company, right? They actually do almost similar thing, and so I do think Grubhub over time will come out good. I don't know about crispy. I just like donut, so Krispy Kreme was. I would say I want them to be in business, at least hold as much as possible. In the future, I might trim this to further down from my food section. Then we have cybersecurity, right? Hack and Splunk, I think, will be the future in cybersecurity. We have SaaS company, Adobe. I like Adobe. They have a lot of products that is helpful in many ways. And then cloud, they're just a cloud computing ETF. And then we have lastly media, and we have three companies: Netflix, Disney, and Roku. I think these all three companies will dominate in the future how they are today. going forward in the future. So that's what I think the future. So let's get back to the fundamental, right? How do you grow portfolio? So one of the things that I have done, right, I have identified the sectors, right? There's a lot of different types of business. For example, if you want to invest in utility companies, there's nothing wrong with investing in utility companies, except for one thing: there isn't that much of innovation happening. So growth will be a lot more slower. That's more for people who wants like fixed income. I do have that portfolio as well. I'll share with you guys. But you want to identify what's the future, because we want to invest in. I personally have more than 20, if not 40 years before I retire. Right, I'm still in my 20s. So these are the company's future. That's why I have chosen these companies or these ETFs that will basically carry me for the future. And then the next thing you want to do is continuously keep on putting money in. See, afternoon trading, I put in $100 here, then $100 there, then didn't see right here, and then they go automatically. These M1 Finance, they automatically rebalance. I don't have to do anything. They automatically allocate what needs to be bought, what doesn't, more or less. See right here, this is buy and this is sell. So they do that. All I have to do is just put more money in. So that's kind of how my portfolio is growing, right? I am holding about 31 companies, but indirectly, because I have ETF, I'm holding technically a lot more, and my risk is a lot lower, right? And you can see how much money I have put in. This is how another way over time on dollar cost average 2019, 2020, 2021, right? And then, right, one thing I want to show you is the return. This return is really what you're looking at. 34% is other people buying in these same company that they think it will go up, or the market is doing this thing, right? That's why I have such a high growth in 1 year. Or overall it's just 79, but I think it's more like 65, to be honest with you. There's something wrong with this chart, honestly. Okay, so that's one way. Here's another way, a lot less involvement. You can do what's called growth mindset, meaning these companies that I have personally bought or invested in, they're mainly for the future that I have hands selected. I think they will do well. Every once in a while I update these companies, I buy them and I sell them, okay, based on whatever market relevant data I get. Either something, I just added Lucid because I do think Lucid will be good competition for Tesla. Robinhood, I like what they're doing. I like Coinbase, how they are dealing with their crypto. Spotify, Snowflake. These are all companies that I think is in the future. All I'm doing is putting more money in and letting the system work. And every once in a while I sell the stock and then I buy into something new. So this is purely, I would say, speculation, much more or less than any dividend. Now there's another ways to grow your portfolio, right? When we talk about growing, is here. It's called like dividend itself. Like you just don't care. You just put in most established company out there, and then you see passive return, and and you get a nice dividend. So here, right, I had this $400 up, $46 of a dividend, and $22 in a year. And you can see these companies that I invested in. These are very old companies. They've been in for a long period of time. Okay, and they will continue to be in business, I believe. I hope so. At least because they are big enough. So I think they are very nice business practice, but not all businesses will survive, right? If you look at Kmart versus Walmart, what was another one that went out of, like Circus City and what else? Like there were a couple other businesses that literally I know personally that went out of business right before my, like Sappers was another one. I think they're still around, but not as many. So that's why you gotta. That's why you buy an ETF, because that would be more like a passive. But I still like some involvement. So this is how I'm growing my portfolio, and I think along this line, how most people do it, because there isn't really any other way. You gotta put in money and let the market do its thing. Okay. I hope this cleared up. If you made it this far, if you guys can please give a thumbs up and subscribe and like, that would be wonderful. Thank you very much. Talk to you later.